My name is Brian Wogan. I'm here to discuss my worm composting bin that I made out of plastic totes. This is keeping in line with what the video I posted from Mr. Dietz's mushroom farm, his description of it. And I wanted to make one and get started composting our kitchen scraps. I also want to utilize the end product of this for the hydroponic growing that I'm doing for the lettuce. Anyways, basically I did exactly like he said in his instructions. I took the 4 plastic totes, and basically the bottom one is your collection for the leachate, the liquid, and then basically the second one will end up being the worm castings as they work their way up, and so you keep filling it as you go. Anyway, I don't want to really discuss that because he discussed it really accurately. I just want to kind of go over it real quickly on the construction of this. In the process of doing this, I learned a couple things. I got a little carried away and drilled one too many holes. So now I have a, call it a worm viewing window on the top. So anyway, don't drill the top one, note to self. The other thing I learned was that the plastic, because of it flexing, you basically need to hold it flat and rigid even at the point when you're drilling, otherwise it'll actually flex it and move off center from the other hole a little. With that said though, basically it's a really easy system. It's just basically a lid. I used a 3-inch hole saw, keeping in line with the cracky method, drilled my holes through the lid and the bottom of the upper tub, and then I took an individual little drill bit, drilled 4 holes and ran zip ties through it to basically give it some space for the worms to climb up into the next tub for the scraps as they progress their way up through, and also to provide a little bit of resistance so everything doesn't just drop through. And then basically these other ones here on the ends are just a means to hold the lower lid to the upper tub. And basically you just repeat the process all the way down to this one, and then in the front, the 3-inch vented louvers, I think they're called, but anyway, same principle. You just drill them in the side and these pop right in. Didn't bother to glue them or use any adhesive or tape or anything because they seem to stay in there pretty well. There shouldn't be a lot of force on them. If they do pop out, no big deal. I'll just use some glue or some tape at that point and get them to be in there more rigidly for the time being. Anyway, it's time to base. Oh, and I forgot. The bottom one here has a sheet of basically, I think it's like fiberglass garden cloth, like kind of weed cloth. And that's to basically allow the leachate to filter through into the bottom bin and keep the solid material up and above. And that's basically the production of this. I didn't want to actually physically do this because, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory when you really think about it. And now it's time to get some red wiggler worms, some say moist cardboard or some moist newspapers, and then start throwing our kitchen scraps in here. Beyond reducing your waste through composting your kitchen scraps, I also want to utilize this to start making compost extract, liquid fertilizer for the cracky growing method, and I want to try that out and compare it to some of the other liquid fertilizers. It'd be a lot of fun. You can also obviously use the leachate itself and or the worm castings if I wanted to go to a soil growing process, but having so much fun with the liquid fertilizer, the cracky method, that I no reason to want to go back to soil for the time being. So anyway, this is my worm composting bin with a so-called worm viewing hole because I got overly carried away and drilled too many. And that's my bin. Thank you.